What up, though? This is Mongo Slade, and today we're going to talk about the stock in the Hurt Business dropping, but why you shouldn't be too upset about it. All right, so uh, what took place January the 4th, 2021, Monday Night Raw. The Hurt Business loses two matches, and it's not just that they lost the tag team match; it's that we're seeing the what were small cracks in the Hurt Business become big cracks in the Hurt Business. And of course, everybody who saw that they've got most of the male championships in the company, well, on Raw, rather, that this was inevitable. It was inevitable. Like, once you take them to the top, they have to start coming down. So the first was Lashley getting pinned by Matt Riddle. The Lashley and Riddle match was actually pretty good. I kind of expected Riddle to win, but I didn't expect him to win the way that he won. It was, let me, I don't, how do I say this? It wasn't bad that he won, right? Lashley has been looking dominant for weeks and weeks, but he has had no contenders. He has had no contenders at all. Now he's finally been upset. And it was kind of a fluke. Matt Riddle did submit. The referee didn't see it. And, because, Lashley was swinging him around and legs and stuff was all over the place. And when he thought he won, he got rolled up and pinned. So we got something for Lashley to do now. Now we've got at least one opponent for him. And that's fine. I can buy that. I'm okay with that. I do like that afterwards. Lashley says he's gonna punish his punk ass. I think that's great. I think the visual of Lashley being screwed and him and MVP really having this, being really upset about it and having a legitimate grievance with this is really good stuff. It sucks that you have to beat the champion to be the number one contender rather than go on a winning streak yourself, kind of like you would do in a normal situation. You win like a lot of matches and then all of a sudden, hey, you're the number one contender or something like that. Versus, oh, I just beat the champion randomly out of nowhere. And, whatever. But that's fine. I'm willing to accept that. Then Lucha House Party defeats the Hurt Business in a tag team non-title match. And you know what? I'm okay with this too. And the reason why I'm okay with this is because Grand Metalik wins. I am a big fan of Grand Metalik. I really am. I really like him. I'm glad that they're finally doing something with him. I just hate that it's at the expense of people that I actually like. Right? I hate that because I like Legado del Fantasma on NXT. Hate that he had to beat them in order to sort of solidify himself. And now he's going to get a Cruiserweight Championship match on NXT. So I kind of was looking at that and I was saying, like, they're just really going to beat these guys on Raw and then put them on NXT and then have them challenge for the Cruiserweight title. And so that was a really weird situation. And then I was surprised that they won. So I'm not too upset that that Lucha House Party. I'm more upset they were even in the match rather than that they won. Okay, Grand Metalik wins another match. He hadn't won that many, so we need to just enjoy Grand Metalik's wins. But I also am not too upset because this Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander thing has been brewing for over a month. It's actually began, the moment Cedric Alexander was brought into the Hurt Business, getting the Wayback Machine. Cedric Alexander joins the Hurt Business, right? Everybody thinks that it's just a ploy. He's trying to destroy the Hurt Business from the inside out. And Shelton Benjamin says, you better hope this was legit, because if it's not, you're going to have to answer to me. And Cedric Alexander goes on to be the star of the Hurt Business. Next to Lashley, he basically wins all the matches. And this becomes a little bit more, it starts to get this, it becomes more popular. He starts to have a breakout, segment, every week pretty much. Breakout matches. He's getting big wins. And it starts to go to his head. He kind of sees in their pursuit of the tag team championships, they chase the New Day, that it wasn't him getting beat, it was Shelton Benjamin getting beat. So he starts to verbally say that. Like, you didn't beat me, you beat Shelton. I'm not Shelton Benjamin. And Shelton Benjamin's getting a little offended. He's like one of the OGs here. Like, what's this? What is this? You're not me. I'm not you. What's this stuff? And that's what this match was happening with. Cedric Alexander decided he was going to take control of the match because he's a winner. And Shelton needs to just chill and ride his coattails because he's a loser. So you started seeing like these blind tags where he would tag himself in, and Shelton would be like, "What? What's going on here? What's up?" And Cedric just be like, "Don't worry about it," and basically shoo him away. And then near the end, you see Shelton blind tag himself back in, and Cedric is like, "What is going on?" And they start to arguing, and then I think Lindsay Dorado threw a kick or a punch or some or other. I don't remember the exact details of this. And Cedric Alexander goes flying. I'm pretty sure it was a kick at that point because, cruiserweights never throw punches. They always throw like forearms and shit. So it was probably a kick. So he kicked him, and Cedric Alexander zoomed out of the screen, and Shelton was kind of selling. And that's, it was like a roll-up win. It was kind of fluky. So Lucha House Party wins, and then MVP is pissed off. MVP is asking both of them, like, "Are you embarrassed?" And Shelton's like, Cedric Alexander's like, and so MVP is embarrassed. Shelton should be embarrassed. Cedric should be embarrassed, and he's like, and Cedric like, "I didn't lose. I'm a winner. I didn't lose. I'm on the winning side." And MVP's like, we win together. And then Cedric's like, "But I didn't lose," and kind of gave Cedric kind of a dirty look. Not Cedric, Shelton a dirty look. And Shelton, as soon as he turned his back, Shelton was about to tear his head off. He was about to tear that man's head clean off. MVP. And MVP grabbed him. And like off screen, as they're transitioning segments, you hear MVP telling Shelton Benjamin, "I need more from you. I need more from you." So, Shelton Benjamin is going to end up being the weak link of the Hurt Business. Not a fan of that. I really don't like that. Shelton Benjamin, and this should come as, I hate to put it this way, Shelton Benjamin, if he was going to be the top guy, should have done so way back in 2006, 2007. He is the best wrestler in that group. But I think he's the second oldest now. I think MVP is almost 50. So you have these guys, man, and Shelton's a little bit slower than he used to be. Still very athletic, but he's not what he used to be. He's like 44, maybe mid 40s. And so look, I like going with the young guy, Cedric, in these situations, but it's too soon for them to break up. That's the first thing I want to talk about. It's a little too soon. At least give it a year. Let it ride until June, right? Let it ride until June. And maybe you could, plant some seeds of them breaking up now. But then MVP snaps the group back together. They galvanize around potentially losing one of these two titles that they have. And then they smarten up, get their shit together, push through the WrestleMania season. And then maybe you start breaking pieces off of the group. And maybe the Royal Rumble would probably be the big breaking point here. But having Shelton Benjamin be the weak link is not something I'm a fan of, because I love Shelton Benjamin. That's just a personal thing. But in the course of the story, it makes sense. It can't be Lashley, because Lashley is the dominator. He's the star of the group for the most part. Cedric Alexander's a young gun. He's, the Hurt Business has really turned his career around. And MVP is mostly outside the ring. He's mostly the mic man now. He's the one who does a lot of losing, but nobody expects a lot of MVP anyway. He's older. So it kind of, by a process of elimination, if there has to be a weak link, it has to be Shelton. And that sucks, because everybody in the group is really good. That's why it's too soon to break them up. There's so much there for you to for you to work with. But this is why you should buy the dips, because if they do decide to start breaking pieces up of the Hurt Business, there's a lot of potential there. There's a lot of potential with the Shelton Cedric matches, not just matches too, but are the Hurt Business going to side with Shelton? Who's an original member of the Hurt Business, or are they going to side with Cedric, who is the young gun? He's the winner. He's possibly the star. Who does MVP side with? His old homeboy, or his new cash cow? And that's a very interesting thing. And I know we all saw this coming from the beginning, right? When you started seeing Cedric and Shelton getting into it, everybody kind of saw like, okay, who MVP is going to side with? He got so much history with Shelton Benjamin, but Benjamin's on the decline, and then you got, if they side with Shelton, they're baby faces. Let's put it like that. If they, Lashley should make his decision that he sides with Cedric Alexander. Cedric is a winner. Lashley's a winner. That's just kind of how it is. They don't need Shelton. MVP, should be a little bit more torn, And I'm okay with them putting pressure on Shelton and maybe saying Shelton has to, prove himself, one-on-one matches and stuff like that to prove that he's still the guy. But theoretically, they have to kick Shelton out. And that's kind of the grand scheme. They have to kick Shelton in order to maintain their heeldom, for them to be heels, which the Hurt Business are just badasses, and they have to kick Shelton out. They have to kick out the weak link. Does that mean they bring in somebody else? Because it's possible that they'd be like, oh, we're going to bring in Keith Lee. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that it has to be a foursome, right? Like, plus I don't like Keith Lee being in that group anyway. Keith Lee looks great in the suit. He really does. But I don't think he fits. I think he fits more as an antagonist to the Hurt Business rather than as a member of the Hurt Business, if that makes sense. But them kicking Shelton Benjamin out cements that they're heels, and they're all about being the best of the best. And Shelton is no longer the best of the best. He's no longer the gold standard. He's no longer that guy. And so he's got to get out. And now you got Shelton feuding with the Hurt Business. But what does that mean? Does Shelton get a new partner? Maybe we have Shelton and Ricochet, because Shelton did a great job with Cedric. Maybe we're going to have him with Ricochet next. That would be dope. I would think that would be cool. Like, I don't like the idea of Shelton having to fight the Hurt Business by himself. But I don't want them to fast track this. That's why I say buy the dips. Just because your stock is plummeting a little bit, recognize that there is also the potential for it to go back up. Just because they were arguing this week, and they're probably going to argue next week, there's probably going to be like an MVP segment or something like that where these guys are going to kiss and make up, at least for the most part, and they're going to agree to, disagree on this stuff and yada, yada, yada. Then they're going to go on to beat Lucha House Party, maybe after, it's definitely going to be after the New Year's Evil thing, and we figure out whether Lucha House Party is on NXT or Raw. I think that it keeps them interesting that they have these schisms, and that Lashley is kind of on the outside of this schism. He hasn't been involved with it yet. Like, everybody's seeing that Cedric is getting the big head, but Cedric is winning. He's taking whatever they're teaching him, he's taking it to heart. He went to Hurt Business boot camp, and he's taking it to heart. He's taking whatever they taught him to heart. And he's out here trying to get it, and Shelton is slipping. We got to get rid of him. Got to cut off the fingers to save the hand, baby. So I love this idea that, but I think it's a little too soon to break them up. But I like the idea of continuing this simmering stew of beef between Shelton and Cedric. That maybe they do the Freebird rule and they sit Cedric down, and MVP has to step up and be Shelton's partner. Or they sit Shelton down and MVP steps up to be Cedric's partner. And that's kind of how they get around this. So they say, look, you two can't get along. When it comes to the tag team titles, I'll be the man that stands in, and I'll do it. That way it can be, Cedric can pull his bullshit on MVP too. Like, MVP is also a loser. But I think that would give it some more some more run time. Because right now, man, look, you see that look on Cedric's face? Cedric and Shelton, I'm just getting so confused. Did you get that? Well, Cedric had a pretty good facial expression on that shit too. But the facial expression on Shelton's face when he was about to go after Cedric says like, I don't think they can last the rest of the month. Like, I don't think they can last the rest of the month. But I think they have to. There literally is no other options. You're going to have these guys who just won the tag team titles not too long ago, now fighting each other. And to what end? There's no other teams. There literally are no other teams. They're going to lose the Lucha House Party. And then what Lucha House Party going to do? There are no other teams. So solidify the Hurt Business. You know, they need to just get over this. They need to galvanize beyond this, you know. So buy the dips. It's not over yet. I don't believe it's over yet. But I am interested. This is very good. This is very good storytelling. I'm very impressed with them dropping the hints at first, with Cedric getting a little loud with people and being very aggressive, getting in people's faces. And people thought it was impressive at first, like thought it was really good at first. And then they kind of like, okay, this kid's getting the big head. And now Shelton has had enough. MVP's like, hold up. You won. You did lose. So I need you to step it up. But him and Lashley also see that Cedric is full of shit. Cedric is doing too much. I just think it's too soon. Like, I think, how long did it take for The Rock to separate from the Nation of Domination? A year? Maybe? These guys, it's only been like 4 months, 5 months. I don't know why they need to microwave this breakup. No, let it simmer. The Hurt Business is great. You know, create new teams for them to fight. You know, give them, if they want to argue amongst each other, cool. But that's part of being a brotherhood, is you argue with people. You know, you argue, y'all go back and forth, but ultimately y'all work together. That's the part of brotherhood. And I don't mind that, but don't break this group up. That's stupid. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to this channel, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
That